On the eve of 1982, Ghana was hit with another coup. Jerry John Rawlings had overthrown President Hillary Mann of the People's National Party, PNP, in a bloodless coup. Dr. Hillary Mann had been in office for just 27 months. In a statement, Rawlings said that a holy war was necessary due to the PNP's failure to provide effective leadership and the collapse of the national economy. Jerry John Rawlings then formed the Provisional National Defense Council, PNDC, and ruled Ghana from December 1981 to January 1993. In less than a year into the PNDC's regime, 30th June 1982, Ghana was again hit with another sad news. This time, it was not a coup, but the country woke up to the news of the gruesome murder of 3 High Court judges and a retired army officer. These High Court judges were Cecilia Corantin, Frederick Opoku-Sarkodie, and Kwadwo Ejapon. The retired army officer was Sam Akwa, who was then the head of personnel at Ghana Industrial Holding Corporation, GIHOC. The reasons for their murder was unknown. Cecilia Corantin Addo was abducted and murdered in secret by some unknown men on 30th June 1982, along with the 2 other Supreme Court justices, Frederick Opoku-Sarkodie and Kwadwo Ejapon, and the retired army officer Sam Akwa. The murder took place at the Bundasi military shooting range in the Accra Plains during the hours of a nighttime curfew. The unknown men had taken their captives to the Bundasi military firing range and executed them. The murderers carried along a gallon of fuel, petrol, with which they set fire to the bodies to cover up their crime. But historical accounts have noted that it rained that day, so the bodies did not burn as the murderers had wanted. Their charred bodies were discovered in the same location the following day. Following intense pressure on Rawlings and the PNDC, a Special Investigation Board, SIB, was formed by the government to investigate the murderers. The SIB was headed by former Chief Justice, Mr. Justice Azu Krepi, to unravel the mystery. In their report, the SIB established that the abduction and murder were a plot hatched with the connivance of members of the PNDC. These were Captain Amedeka, Tony Tekpo, Zandu, and Heckley, as well as ex-PNDC member Amatekwe. The SIB also found out that the entire plot was masterminded by Captain Kojo Tsikata, a PNDC member in charge of national security. However, the PNDC rejected that particular aspect of the report and let Captain Tsikata and 4 others off the hook for lack of evidence. In 1992, the independent newspaper reported findings of the SIB's inquiry in Ghana, which it said had recommended the prosecution of 10 people for the murder, including Ghana's head of national security at that time, Kwadwo Tsikata. Tsikata, who was Rawlings' right-hand man, filed a defamation lawsuit against the Independent on 26 March 1993, which he agreed to drop after the Independent published a correction statement in September 1998, in which they clarified that they had not intended to suggest that Tsikata was guilty of the crime. 4 of the 9 suspects were jailed. When on 19 June 1983, there was a jailbreak at the Insawam Medium prisons and the Ashaford prisons. Captain Amedeka escaped from captivity and has since not been seen. But his three accomplices, Tony Tepo, Asanzu, and Hekle, as well as ex-PNDC member Amate Kwe, were executed by firing squad. Before his death in 2020, Mr. Rawlings always insisted that before Amate Kwe was executed, he confessed at stake to forcefully accusing Mr. Tsikata of involvement in the execution of the charges.
People still continue to level allegations against me as a conspirator in the crime to murder the judges and Major Alcohol.
Was it possible for the 4 young soldiers, corporals, lance corporals, to undertake that major activity without authority from the superior authority, without orders or instructions from the superior authority? Could they have done that on their own initiative?
My dear General, one of them, without anybody's authority, killed my relative. Those young soldiers were not taking official orders to go and kill people. They were not taking official orders.
Wouldn't the circumstances have been different? Your uncle, wouldn't the circumstances have been different? I don't know the sort of reasons why they would have killed your uncle. I don't know. But whether they knew him or there was some sort of personal reason, I don't know. I don't know the circumstances. But here we have the judges and our own colleagues, some upper, whom they didn't know. They didn't know where they lived. They had no sort of relationship with them. They bore them no grudge. Could they have done that on their own initiative?
In the evidence of the eyesight, they all stated that they were doing what they did under the instructions of Amate Kwe. That is what all of them said in the evidence before the eyesight and before the tribunal. Amate Kwe was a member of the PNDC, yes. That is what they all said.
Did he hold any special position?
He was a member of the PNDC in charge of TUC affairs.
So does it mean any member of PNDC can get hold of any of the soldiers and give them orders to do anything?
That is what they did. I'm not saying that that is legal. That is what they said they did.
Well, the unfortunate thing is that they are gone. Amate Kwe is gone, and it's difficult to. But it sounds a little bit difficult to understand the system whereby any member of government could just order soldiers to, undertake such.
My dear General, that is why Amate Kwe was prosecuted and executed. It was not right for him to have done what he did. It was not a matter of system. Amate Kwe was responsible for the crime he committed with America and the others.
Even though the reasons for the murder of these people are unknown, let's dive a little into the life of these people, and that may give us a clue to why their lives were taken away from them. As for Major Sam Akwa, his crime may have been a signed letter that led to the dismissal of some agitating workers, including a PNDC member, Amate Kwe, who became a suspect in the murder. These members were dismissed after invading and destroying properties at Ghana's Parliament House. Major Sam Akwa at that time was the Director of Personnel at the Ghana Industrial Holding Corporation, GHOC. What about Judge Cecilia Corantin? In 1980, Cecilia ruled in favor of a businessman named Mr. Shackford, who had been detained during the 1979 revolution led by Jerry John Rawlings. Cecilia held that there was no justification for the detention and therefore directed his release. Again, Cecilia was the first judge to have questioned the transitional provisions of the Armed Forces Revolutionary Council (AFRC) inserted in the 1979 Constitution, and she set free an AFRC convict. She also decided a case involving the routing workers of Ghana Industrial Holding Corporation (GIHO), who attacked Parliament in Ghana's Third Republic. Amata Quay, one of the leaders of the routing workers, subsequently became a member of Mr. Rawlings' Provisional National Defense Council (PNDC), which was the ruling party at the time of Cecilia's murder in 1982. Amata Quay was later tried and convicted of his role in Cecilia's murder. What about Judge Frederick Sarkodie? Little is known about Judge Frederick Sarkodie. As a judge, he was known to have advocated for the cause of women prior to the existence of the Interstate Succession Law of 1985, which was enacted to protect a married spouse under customary law. What about Judge Kojo Eje Ejapon? Again, little is known about Judge Eje Ejapon. However, in May 1979, he was appointed chairman of the Committee of Inquiry that investigated the case of the Accra Railway shooting incident that saw the death of a second-year student of Commonwealth Hall, University of Ghana, by a police. In his report in June 1980, he lamented the unwarranted use of ammunition by the police in a rather peaceful students' demonstration. 40 years later, Ghana has still not recovered from this mystery. Ever since the incident occurred, the nation has not had a closure on the turn of event of this particular day. Several people have accused the late former President Jerry John Rawlings as the mastermind behind these murders. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and share your view on this issue.